it's also, if you're trying to peel a Vladimir and a Hecarim and a Irelia, good luck. So the pick just really did not work out that well. I think PL out-drafted them. We'll see what adaptations NRG can make. One thing I wouldn't mind seeing, if it's that kind of composition again from TL, is honestly the Alawi. Alawi has some of the best counter engage in the game. You dive into the team, 3-4 man, you ult them, and you go nuts. And that is something that really can be powerful. And that objective control, Riv,
you know,
that's hype.
TIL, man.
Yeah.
TIL. So we'll see, like you said, Alawi, Quas, why not? The guy loves to play Alawi. So that could be something they bring against this Team Liquid composition. The final suspension ban. It is Rek'Sai. You are out of this game, ma'am. What is going to happen for the next one? I did say ma'am, not ma'am. Or man, rather. So I'm just going to confuse myself on that now.
It's a girl.
It is a girl.
Queen. There you go. You nailed it, Riv.
Clarifying that I said ma'am.
Yeah, you don't want to get those.
So those
tweets.
don't get.
Hey, Riv, it's the queen of the Zur side. Leave her alone. You nailed it. All bases,
like
all bases covered. No words.
Just being sure.
Yep.
Being sure.
I like it.
Last ban on the side of NRG. That is Sivir. Sivir. S-I-V-I-R. Sivir. All right, let's see what they pick now. Okay, so it's the Vladimir.
Yep.
Phoenix feels like it's going to be the Vladimir once again, and we'll see how NRG answers this time. Ashe is actually left up once again.
Yeah, Vladimir is something that Phoenix has always done so well on, so you have to be ready for this pick if you're ever going to leave it up, and that means you need to have a plan. You need to either be able to do well in lane or have something that is able to shut this pick down as far as the team fights. NRG needs to show us something a little bit different if they want to deal with this, because Phoenix was able to not only get a CS lead over GBM, but really kind of outperform in the team fights.
Nidalee has been left up this game, but it's going to be the victor once again. The Karma, however, is locked in for Kiwi Kid this time.
Yep. So they do pick up that Karma, taking it away from Matt. Was very successful on it, gives them a stronger bot lane duo. Karma also very good as far as dealing with the Vladimir AoE damage. You have the Mantra shields. He goes in, drops all the AoE. You shield that up. Can really help to negate a lot of that when added into a Locket. You know, you have the Locket shield, you have the AoE shields from that. So there's a lot that can be done to mitigate that damage. And at the same time here for TL, are they willing to start drafting heavily into these kind of engaged type compositions when they haven't really seen the rest of the draft fleshed out? And it is going to be Ashe, and it's going to be Sona. Sona now is something that's really rising in priority. Very strong, powerful healer.
So much crowd control just locked in. The NRG has to be thinking of how can we keep a separated fight? How can we, again, like you said, counter-engage what happens when Liquid tries to run through us?
Yeah.
Here, the Karma gives the speed. Victor as well can speed himself up. They also have the Chaos Storm to help kind of disperse Liquid in their engage. Jhin would be a scary pick here, but NRG feels like it might be the right one.
Certainly could, and both kind of filling that similar role as far as playing that sniper marksman, and they can be very powerful.
Right, no, that's a good point.
And it's something where, because they have that Karma that can kind of give you that strong lane, sometimes you want to be able to use that to really bully lane, and sometimes you want to be able to kind of bridge a gap with it. So in this case, Jhin maybe isn't as strong a laner as someone like Lucian, whatever, but you can kind of cover up some of those weaknesses by having a strong early laner such as Karma. I do think that Sona matches up pretty well against Karma. Usually the supports that can kind of heal up match well against poke supports because you can kind of out-sustain in that way a lot of the time. And I got to talk to Aframu a little bit about Sona yesterday, and he was saying he actually feels that it's weaker early in lane because the damage that it puts out is a lot lower, but as far as scaling, it's very, very strong, and we do see Hecarim and that Trundle locked in.
Yeah, he would be the guy to know. Looked at Sona at MSI, so before it was cool.
Exactly, it's the hipster Sona.
What is this pick, though? Is the Alawi actually strong enough that we were talking about, or is it a kind of Gnar again? Does he lock it back in for that frontline tank?
It's hard to say, and Alawi can kind of perform similar frontline roles. It depends, do they want to kind of look for the engage? Do they want to absorb the engages? And I feel like when you're playing Marksman in the jungle, plus you have the Karma for a disengage, you want to be playing this setup where you're kind of kiting back and absorbing the damage and killing off the front line. I think Alawi does work well if you want to play it like that.
Yeah.
If they want to go for a Gnar, that gives them more kind of utility as far as going for the starting the fights themselves, right? You speed him up, he jumps in, he stuns him. So they do have the ability to go for that, and I think it really just depends what kind of style they want, and it looks like they will take that Gnar. Could also be something where they feel that the Gnar matches up better in the 1v1 against Trundle,
right.
which I think is fair because Trundle really can bully out a lot of those melee matchups.
So we did see the Maokai coming in recently for him, so it might have been something where he can help the entire team out because they already have DPS. There's no doubt about that. They just needed that guy tank for Quas, and they've got it. Both teams now locked in. Again, double teleports from Liquid, but it didn't even seem to be utilized in the previous game. Everything was pretty slow going until the opening arrow fight around Red Buff, about 20 minutes in. Still looking to see if GBM can hold down mid lane, but they have kind of sorted out a comp this time to take that fight from Team Liquid.
Yeah, I think that their composition makes more sense this time around.
Yeah.
Graves should be able to kind of just stay back with his teammates, just essentially peel through doing damage and using the smoke screen, just be able to kind of pump out DPS into these frontline divers. The only question I really have here is how the Jhin is going to fit into it all. You know, Jhin is someone who really likes to kind of absorb the initiations by using the ultimate for the counter engage, and that seems like it could be very tricky against someone like the Hecarim who can kind of dive deep, interrupt that. At the same time, Karma matches up well with the Vladimir, absorb that damage, have your AD carries kite back, and look to kind of punch through that front line.
All right, we'll see what happens going into game 2. Liquid look to separate themselves from Chronologic Gaming in the standings. NRG, Apex, and C9 are those games that follow for Liquid. NRG would really love to get a win here. They got to start with their 3 games left. That's TL, CLG, and TSM, so it does not get any easier as the road goes on. This is a chance for NRG to start to step back up. And we're going to be into game 2. On the Rift, we'll see what NRG can do versus Liquid. We saw Liquid trying to pull out the swap call last time. NRG did not buy into it. See if they can get the matchup this time.
I'm not even sure if they want what lanes they exactly want here, because I do think that everything seems pretty even as far as there's no like, oh god, I gotta avoid this. Whereas last game was much more of that because it was, you know, Karma into the Braum, whereas this game it's Karma into Sona, and I think Sona should be fine with that matchup. I think that although you could say Karma maybe has a little bit of edge over Sona, in my opinion, early because you have the additional poke and the damage, Ashe is probably a little bit of a favorable matchup as far as pushing power against that Jhin.
Oh! Look out.
That's why you gotta keep that safety on, Riv. Safety
It
first.
hasn't even started yet. Shouldn't be shooting anything.
Yeah.
Are we gonna get it? No, they're walking up. That makes me sad.
Okay.
Smart move though. Obviously, Matt's gonna be able to sustain as this lane goes on, and they have a ridiculous level 6 that you would not want to be in lane 4.
Yeah, Ashe Sona is a really strong combo with kind of double CC chains. And will Kiwi actually go for the invade? Storm Raider Surge on the Vlad, as you point out.
It's pretty nice. We're gonna get that extra speed.
And Matt, maybe, or Kiwi, my mistake, may actually be able to push them off here on this blue. And we'll see if they do start it up, or if they kind of get tricked. I think he's... Wow, they actually did. Oh, he goes back. He smells it. That was pretty smart, actually, from Kiwi. We'll see how annoying he can really be here. Does have a lot of early harass with the mantra. He still has that available and has to be a little bit careful, but should not be able to get chased down. And
he's like, I'm coming back. All right, no, I'm not.
I'm just kidding.
Just kidding. So not too much trouble on that. Big and small monsters all picked up by Dardoch. Kiwi Kid's doing a nice job. So bit of a push bottom lane as Quas, again, in this instance, still trying to soak up some CS here.
And Kiwi, although he's not able to stop the camps, he is being pretty darn annoying. And this means Santorin is actually basically just free farming. They're going for a dive on Quas. Quas is trying to hold this, and I don't think there's really much of any chance at all.
Oh, he's walking towards Fab. He walked the other way now. Fab, he's getting the tank on. One last shot. The minion's not going to take him down. He popped the potion at a perfect time. And now it's the 1v1. Kiwi Kid stayed for the long haul, and it looks like Dardoch will finally cut him down.
Wow, it is the first blood going over to Santorin, who just barely arrived in time. But Quas TP's back, and this is something that NRG's analyst was actually talking about. He felt that you can actually hold these turret dives, and even in 2v4s and potentially even 1v4s, this was not that much of a disadvantage because Dardoch was not even there. But they come out with a 1v1 in the 3v2 type situation. Still pretty risky stuff, and barely able to survive.
Yeah.
That's
really tight play by Liquid. They get out by the skin of their teeth. We'll see it one more time.
yeah, so it is that 3v1. They're trying to set it up. Matt pulls the initial aggro. Good job by him, and now he has to step out. And here is Santorin. They did not expect him to be there. He plays this very well, and at the same time, Kiwi has overstayed his welcome. Ghost and the E get popped. He's just going to get chased down by Dardoch, who collects a nice kill for himself. And the advantages have to come basically from when Quas TP's back. So Quas is trying to essentially get back to lane immediately and say, oh, you can't dive me again. Now I get this XP. And we kind of just end up in this weird situation where now it's just going to standard lanes because they defended.
He'll be all right. He does get pushed out of lane, though. So GBM, I would say a lot better this lane. He's actually going to be able to deny this wave Phoenix grabbed in the previous one to put him up in CS. So GBM's having a much better game already.
So that's
true.
The risk.
That's
that
true.
He gets right back in there, and he can collect this wave, and he will still end up a little bit ahead. So it is a trade of summoners, the Ignite for that TP, and when you bring the Ignite, you really have to convert on it. You have to get some sort of significant advantage or really have them playing scared. And now that the Ignite's down, he's TP'd back. They're going to be on even buys. He's going to be feeling pretty comfortable because the threat of the all-in is very low. That's why a lot of people just feel like TP is just better. And it's the same reason as far as top laners, you really never see Ignite these days because people are just so good. Even though TP keeps getting nerfed and nerfed and nerfed, cooldown, then channel time, people are just like, well, I'll respect your all-in, and then before I TP back to lane, I will trade heavily, and then I'll come back full health, and it doesn't matter if you have Ignite anymore because I have double your HP, and I'll just kill you.
It's all about not dying. I don't care if you push me out of lane. It's the fact that I can be there again. Lorlo's looking to kind of create that situation for himself. He'll be able to actually heal up perfectly on this potion. And the minions coming in will give him some good health as well. So Quas is going to push that in real slow as Santorin takes some time to clear the vision. See the Caulfield's Warhammer here for Santorin as well. They're looking to get some early kills.
Yeah, they are. Here comes Dardoch. He's wrapping around behind. Kiwi's in trouble, has no summoners.
Who does he choose? The Mantra Shield from Kiwi Kid, and so much early damage from these lanes. Matt as well putting down the DPS. And Liquid is starting to clean up from lane to lane.
And it all comes back to Kiwi Kid's mistake in the jungle. And not only does that give up the one kill, he had to blow his flash, which meant Dardoch returns the scene of the crime, picks up a free kill. Notice how they did not go for OQ. They took the guaranteed kill of Kiwi Kid, and that means that Kiwi Kid not only gave up 1, but 2 kills from the same mistake. So that is very punishing.
And it cascades, too, because while OQ made it out, that summoner heal is down now, so something else they can work off of in that lane if they choose.
And it gives the advantage over to this bot lane, because they pick up assists, so additional gold to them, additional experience, you know, as they're able to kind of deny that from Kiwi. Oh, Santorin, though, looking for a trade.
Goes down the Hemo Plague for a bit of heal. Good follow-up. That was the last bit of mana from GBM. And with that Ignite being down, they couldn't really put too much more pressure on.
That's exactly it. You know, if they have the Ignite, then Phoenix maybe has to flash. But he calculates this damage extremely well. He realizes, hey, my ult is going to pop. I'll get that health back.
Oh, I thought that was a level 6 Fabi. I was expecting to see an arrow over Lorlo's shoulder. And I realized we're only 6 minutes in. That's
just a young Ashe. Needs some time to grow, to be nurtured.
He will soon blossom.
He will soon blossom into a beautiful Ashe with a big arrow.
Oh, I don't know if you can say that on stream. 7 minutes in on this. Should have the bottom turret. Quas, however, he loves to hold this. Like they said, it can be done sometimes. The level 6 makes it a bit easier as well. And he will actually be able to push him off. Matt keeps his life as he entered deep into the jungle. GBM and Santorin didn't have too much of a catch on him.
Yeah, and a good CS advantage for Quas as a result of kind of being able to stick around in some of these risky situations, has collected some more farm for himself, has a bit of an advantage in that regard. But the kills, the extra kills going over to TL have really been the decider so far. Game still very close.
Oki's actually been in lane quite a while. He's the only 6 out of the duo lanes on both sides, waiting for those Ashe arrows to start off again and Liquid to start working the map. And they're actually going to be able to grab Dardoch here. This would be huge. NRG really doesn't put too much on their plate to be the aggressor. They act very they are very reactive, I should say, in their plays. So it's always good to see them trying something. Unfortunately, it seems like they're always just a second too late.
Yeah, a little bit too late. But at least for GBM, he got that deep ward, and he was kind of gifted that by shoving in Phoenix. He has lane advantage, pushes him to his turret, so Phoenix can't roam the match, so he gets a D4, which will help protect himself. OQ looking to get a little bit aggressive here. Nice sidestep, though.
Wonder what it's like for the mentality of a bottom lane when you're kind of just wondering how close are they to hitting 6? Can we farm this wave? It's a lot of pressure. I'm surprised they don't have any junglers in this area right now, as that's about to pop for this support on Matt's side. There's a bit of a jungler do-si-do above the mid laners right now, and Dardoch looks like he may give GBM something else to think about. A flash as well. Could be big, as Dardoch has been making a lot of return ganks. That's when the 6 stings, but Matt is just short of hitting it as well. They cannot follow up, and now the curtain call comes back. Matt's got to get in the way of Fabi, but Sona doesn't have much HP herself. They are going to be able to stay safe, and boy, junglers would have a field day right now.
Dardoch, speaking of junglers, he does back off, though. I think he actually thought he was spotted. I'm not sure if he was. Then there are pings, so he was spotted out. Had he not used his ultimate mid lane, might have been able to pick up a kill here, but still it did get the flash for himself over from GBM, and may mean that Phoenix goes for the dive.
Whoa! Phoenix going very hard. Breaks the turret tether. He has the minions in range now, and it's gonna be the draw! GBM and Phoenix go down.
Draw in the mid lane. Jin's in the bot lane though, Riff. But it is going to be a trade of kills. A gutsy move there from Phoenix, and honestly, GBM does pretty well for himself getting that trade kill. Because it was an extra summoner and blown there by Phoenix, he used his flash. Still up in farm, does deny some of that experience, and
see how if he teleports back to lane. I figured he'd walk it out so he can hold that. Knowing GBM as well has to take that long walk. Kiwi Kid's gonna go ahead and get some pixel brush. We'll see this one more time. I figured he was gonna pool out a little bit towards Wolves and maybe be safe, but probably both still would have gone down.
Yeah, he wanted to make sure he got that kill, and the Ignite being up was big for GBM, and just kind of staying on his ultimate. Turret shot comes in. They do both pop at the exact same time, and you can see Phoenix feels like he goofed there a little bit.
I think I made a mistake.
Yeah. Got the kill still.
So both flashes. I guess he doesn't have to worry about that. Maybe he's able to go aggressive because of it.
Then Santorin kind of sneaking around here. In case Phoenix does go in, he will have that support of his jungler. It gets pinged out. And that means that Dardoch is going to kind of have free reign as far as where he wants to path. They know that Santorin is going to be heading topside. That means that Lorlo has to respect it. And you can see Lorlo immediately backing off, respecting the potential of a dive. Very intelligent play. And it's up to Dardoch to get something done on the bot side. Whether they go for Dragon, whether they go for something of their own as far as kills is really up to them. And they're looking right now at GBM.
GBM as well. This may linger into that Dragon you were talking about. Sure love a Cloud Drake on that Hecarim. But it looks like there are actually too many energy members that could collapse. Top lane should be taking down. So what will TL get out of this, actually? Quite slow to the bot side here. Kiwi Kid is backed off. It looks like they will equalize the turret just a bit slower.
Yeah, maybe next wave they can actually get it. It's just one of those cases where Dardoch kind of hesitated a little bit on what he wanted to do. He wanted to look for the mid lane dive, but then GBM was playing really smart. He backed way off, so they couldn't get that. So he's like, okay, well, what else can we get? Can we go bot lane? So they are going to eventually get that bot lane turret, and it will be the trade. And they do look like they want to stick around here, so potentially trying to take out some of NRG's members as they come back, or maybe make a late move towards that Dragon.
Kiwi Kid's got to remember there is an arrow just on the other side of the wall that could come flying at him. Matt is also 6 now, so the crescendo is available. It looks like this could file out into the Dragon. Maybe just scuttle first, and they will be back to rinse and repeat. Good forward wards, however, from Liquid are giving them quite good control over the map. NRG can't lose too much more grip here.
Santorin has really done a good job helping out Quas this time too, and Quas has carved out a pretty big advantage because of that help and some good play from himself. He already has that Frozen Mallet. He's up 40 CS. He's up 2 levels. Lorlo probably going to ding 8 relatively soon, but still, this is looking very good for the Gnar, and it's going to be tough for Lorlo to match up well.
He decides to back. actually are respecting NRG quite a bit. This could be good for NRG. They get a nice hit in. Oh no. As soon as I say that, the caster curse to GBM, and he has instantly wiped out in the mid lane. It looked like TL was on a breather, but they are always ready to hit the go button.
They are, and they nail that kill, and GBM without the cleanse. Easy pickings for Fabi as he nails the arrow, and they have the follow-up. Now going to be moving over to Rift Herald. They have a big advantage here as Phoenix is still alive, and they could go for it. Maybe just going to try to push for the top lane tier 1, though.
Actually a very dangerous place to be farming, if you think about it. In a pile of minions in the mid lane, you're not going to be able to walk out very fast. You just kind of get pushed around before you get the distance you need.
It's so tough, and unless you have those deep lane wards, you can actually be safe against the Ashe.
That's definitely something you have to think about. Santorin gets a quick bite. He's just making sure that Lorlo isn't getting as big as Quas. They're doing quite a bit to keep him up. And it looks like this wave actually may not be as much as Lorlo wants either. They should push that into second. Fabi again towards the top side. They keep him with this solo experience quite a bit.
And they're giving Quas solo gold even, so they really are investing heavily in this. And that's great, but you need to make it work, right? He can't just get this advantage and do nothing. This means that there's a lot of onus on Quas to carry because this is where they're investing all of their time. They're saying, okay, you're the one who has to win the game for us. Santorin is camping for him so hard and trying to put him ahead, and they have succeeded in that. But if he can't convert in team fights, it was a waste of time.
Right. And it's not even that Liquid's going to bring the game to Quas either.
Yeah, they could just try to avoid him, right?
Exactly. Let him stay on those side lanes, farm it up. Oh. Just saying, no, you cannot get back into this engage. There really wasn't much Dardoch wanted to do on that one, it seems. Cooldown right now for the Ashe arrow. As it switches on me. It's going to be on 90 seconds, so not too bad.
No, and as you do rank up and he picks up the essence, runs some crit, we'll get better and better. Still, though, does nail the arrow, but no one really in place to actually follow up, so not too big of a deal. And Santorin, kind of heavy farming here. He loves playing this style of Graves. Really kind of a good power farmer. And can put out a lot of damage in the team fights, but Dardoch is going to be no joke either. He's level 10, going to be closing in on level 11, working towards that Trinity Force, and this guy is going to be a monster as he does complete it, and he has 2,300 gold in the bank, so he is actually very close, if not already having it. I think when he bases, he can just pick up a full Trinity Force.
It's got to feel good to roam around with that much gold, still be initiating for your team and helping things.
Yeah.
You feel very, very sure of yourself, and that confidence just exudes. Falls onto the rest of your team, and everybody's behind you on the engages. We got to see where the close comes, though, from Team Liquid. Seems like they still give NRG a bit of respect when they do have a lead, and we saw it a little bit after they got a few arrows, but it seemed like they could have taken it even earlier last game.
And last game, it did take them, like you said, a little bit of time to get going, and maybe now is the time when they do start to look for that, because Dardoch is one camp away from 11, so he'll have the rank 2 ultimate. He has his Trinity Force. He's ridiculously strong right now. The Ashe arrow is also off cooldown once again. You can see some of the TL members kind of moving over, and Dardoch's going to pick up the Gromp, get level 11. Will they look to fight?
You see Kiwi Kid placed an award. They're actually getting less deeper each time. He only goes up to where it enters from the scuttle area, and he is out immediately as Liquid again takes over that area. It's almost going to be hard for NRG's wards to stay alive, as this will be the Rift Herald that goes down before Baron spawns. Control now for Liquid, looking very, very good.
They're TPing in. They want to fight. Quas has no rage on that Mega Bar, but GBM gets sniped.
GBM's hit. Quas actually has a long run now since they're pulling down. I don't know, they don't think he's coming down, so they're going to walk right into him on the escape.
Look at their health, though. Phoenix is zoning them out so heavily, and Phoenix goes in.
Oh, Dardoch hits it hard. GBM goes down. They're on to Santorin now. Phoenix was waiting for the perfect opening, and as Oki was standing still, he found it. It turns into a triple kill for Dardoch.
Flashback to last game. Just a brutal fight there from NRG as they are really just trying to force it way too hard. TL had the advantage. They had the perfect power spikes. We talked about the timing of the fight. They draw in energy, and Quas is on the other side. He has no rage for Meganar, and GBM and Santorin and Oki, their whole team is just getting zoned out and poked by Phoenix. They basically funneled into the Vladimir, gave away a free team fight.
Dardoch being 6-0-1 cannot be touched as he dives in. We'll see this again.
Yeah.
Did he teleport in and back out?
So he TPs in, he comes in, he needs to build Rage before he can fully commit. But look at this, the fight is already lost. Look at GBM's health, look at Santorin's health. Now Phoenix, he's poking them. This is where you have to just give up on the fight. But they're running forward, they're all at half HP, and Phoenix goes forward. These are free kills. There was no chance they would win that fight from that position as all of TL are full. There's no way. It's just really way too ambitious, and they needed to slow roll it and allow Quas to get his rage before they got poked down. But once the arrow hit GBM, once you took all that poke, they just have to bail out and say, okay, guys, yes, we would have liked to take this fight. That sucks. We give up the Rift Herald, but you back off and you cut your losses. Instead, they commit to the fight anyway. They give up 4 kills. And it's just going to be so hard to deal with this Hecarim. Level 12, 2 complete items. He's ridiculously strong.
And it's it's rather hard to kind of find. Whoa,
Nailed
my
him.
gosh. Is there entry? Dardoch
Here he
could be
goes.
close enough. Hits him once, hits him twice. The Onslaught of Shadows puts him in a perfect spot. Goal side to get the kill. OQ over the wall. That'll be another kill for Dardoch, most likely just a little bit later in the game, as he is now 7-0-1.
Feels bad when the enemy jungler has 3,000 more gold than your mid laner or your AD carry.
Oh, my word.
And that is the position they're in. This is ridiculous. Dardoch is going to be completely unstoppable. And even just how tanky this guy is for this stage in the game, the amount of health he's going to have, it's so hard to ever kill him off.
Ask, and I shall receive. I guess it'd be thou for both of us. But yeah, here it is. TL kind of turning that go button on. They're saying we have the chance to end. Let's try to end. We're up. If they want to hit us at Rift Herald, we'll take that fight. And they really are just setting themselves up for a victory here. It doesn't look like NRG can do much other than look for a mistake now, which Team Liquid has been far from making.
And TL is making all the right steps to quickly close out this game. Look at the vision on that side of the jungle. They push up, they take the tier 2. They know they're safe to do so because they have vision all over that jungle. Now they already have a big ward on Baron. They can move up to the top side. They will look for deep vision there. They will look to threaten the Baron. And if they get an even reasonable team fight with this gold advantage this early, they will crush NRG. 7,000 gold up almost at 20 minutes is disgusting.
Absolutely crazy. And it hurts to harp on a point, but we see GBM once again, most deaths on the team coming into this time, also for mid laners.
Yeah.
You got to keep yourself alive on the map. That's the experience, that's the CS that he's always down in and under-leveled once again.
And it's tough because he is getting picked on, and
of course,
you know, it's
of course, they make it hard for him.
Exactly, and you feel like, hey, okay, I need this Ignite to match up well against the Vladimir. But it's not a fair fight. It's not a 1v1, right?
Right.
It's the Ashe is going to move over, he's going to hit you with the arrow, and Fabi just keeps nailing them, and because he doesn't play with Cleanse, he's getting taken down. So you can all bring him back to the draft. Maybe if you need the Ignite to deal with the Vladimir, you should be banning out the Vladimir so you can use the Cleanse against some of these other picks.
Absolutely, if you're going to leave that Ashe up.
Yeah, they're getting destroyed by Ashe in both games. Fabi has been incredible with the Ashe arrows.
Coming through once again, the follow-up. Like we said, the confidence just flows into everybody else on the team, and they see the potential of the plays. They are all in on it. Dogpile on the first member hit. It's been GBM most of the time. Now they move together. Santorin can be very dangerous here. Gets the damage reduction. And actually, see how much damage it reduces. They don't get too much off of that collateral damage. Curtain call. Going to take a bit of HP from Matt and the team, but they'll be able to enter back into this. Bottom lane's getting hit up by Lorlo as they're dancing here on the top side.
And Dardoch goes down, has the Trinity Force completed. Look at the damage coming in. And Liquid can just start pushing in the mid. They can push in the bottom. Boss goes to the engage.
Just for Lorlo. It seems like it's going to be big, but nobody's really there to hit. Lorlo and Dardoch are able to take the fight while the rest of the team comes in. They're just kind of wrangling energy together for Fabi to come in for the kills. Phoenix to start putting out more DPS. And once inside the base of NRG, they say, keep going back to your fountain. We'll take this.
Yeah. And Dardoch, Matt, and Lorlo basically went for a 3v5 there and still ended up in a fine trade. Phoenix, oh God, I don't know if you want that.
We just saw the Narbar go down. He ulted as well. Quas puts himself way too far forward, hoping that Liquid would be between NRG's base and the blue buff. They were all at the blue buff, however, and somehow Quas makes it out alive with the cavalry backing him up just in time.
He does get out, but looks a little silly doing it as the TP goes down. And let's watch this one more time. You can see the AD carry and the mid laner aren't even here, but they're going in. Dardoch is feeling strong, maybe a little bit too strong as he goes going deep there, and sometimes you get that feeling where you're feeling invincible, Riv. You're 7-0, you're like, this is me. That one wasn't him, but he's still doing great. And they are looking to close out this game. Bot lane inhib is down. That's the toughest one to defend with Baron on the map.
That's when you get that echo saying, it's like, that didn't happen. Do that again. He's
Give
alive.
me that redo.
Give it the redo. Lorlo's ultimate almost up. Looking for summoners. Most flashes are there.
Oh my
380
God.
carries. That gonna help Santorin. His flash is down now, and so is he. Dardoch comes up with another kill as him and Lorlo, the Bash brothers, on the front line this game. One last hit coming in. Actually, the Death Blossom from Oki was already placed down. Nice little bouquet for Dardoch. As he falls, the team will realize they don't have as much power without him. And Phoenix is going to go ahead and throw some blood splatters into stop turret.
Yeah, it's a good snipe from OQ, but Santorin was already dead. It just makes it a 1-for-1 trade with your top lane turret going down, your bot lane being pushed in.
Yep.
And it just shows you have to commit more pieces in one area to take out the people from TL, because TL just has stronger members, and it makes it so tough to match up across the map. This means that they've now ceded all vision really in their jungle. They're just losing more and more ground. And as TL does set up Baron vision, which is likely the next step, they could go for that, or if they're feeling confident, they could actually just try to end the game simply by pushing into diving. I think Baron is probably a safer play, though. We'll see if they decide to make that happen.
Level 2 ultimates for most are on the map. Besides the supports, Matt and Fabi always sticking together. Liquid always seems like they have the path. When they're in the lead, they know where to go. They know what to do next. Matt coming in very confidently saying, nothing to worry about here. And it seems like he may have had read the energy book before entering the game. Kiwi Kid looks to tether, but himself goes down.
Has the ulti. He still could go deep if he wants.
Quas tries to get his ult out, throws it back, saves himself for now as he leads to safety. Onslaught of Shadows just short on the heels of energy.
Yeah, gets the fear on Santorin, but no way to take him out. Was looking for a juicier target. Still, they make the peel, they get the pick. Right back to the Baron, rinse and repeat. And how does Energy approach it this time? It's gonna be tough.
Do they?
Yeah.
Santorin isn't exactly on a champion that's in and out. If he is in, he's in for the team and the smite. One-way trip it is. It looks like he may not even get there. They put up a toll booth halfway there, and they say, will you pay the toll? He almost takes down Phoenix. And Matt doing a great job of the meat shield, dropping down that curtain call. Makes sure it cannot get through for damage. And there's the Baron for Team Liquid, slowly setting it up and quickly taking it down.
Phoenix is playing so intelligently, zoning Santorin out. He wanted to go for the Miracle Baron steal, which was really the only hope of them staying in this game. But Phoenix gives them a one-way trip back to the fountain, and it's going to be the Infernal for TL before they look to close out.
Summoners of Teleport up for Liquid. They could really scatter energy if they wanted to. Baron up. They're probably going to work the 1-3-1 anyways, or at least the 1-2 from top and mid, and just throw everybody else in whatever lane they want to. 14-4, 26 minutes in now. Dardoch saying, who wants to clear this top wave? Anybody?
Nobody wants it.
It's got to feel good to be this big in the game. This is like Jungler's Week. Honori yesterday. Dardoch's having a good game here. I wonder how the other streams are doing.
He's almost at 13,000 gold. With no one even at
ridiculous.
9K on energy. So,
like, props to the junglers this week.
Yeah, showing some hard carry performances.
Yeah, absolutely. GBM. Chaos Storm over the wall to try and rain on Liquid's parade. Arrow goes to OQ. That gives them time to take down the 80 carry.
God.
Instantly deleted from the map. More removal here as Liquid puts on a clinic, trying to surgically remove the rest of the members of Energy from their own base as they turn it into shambles. And Quas and Santorin on the fountain for solace, and then back out to try and do what they can in the fight. But the inhibitors are falling, and the Nexus will be soon as well for Liquid.
Oh, Dardoch gets pulled into the well. Down he goes. It's the morale boost. But that is going to be that as Liquid close it out. Fabi nails another arrow. Can this guy even miss?
I don't know. It's not going to be enough, though, for Energy. They try their damnedest to hold off Liquid. The 2-0 going over to Liquid as they take down Energy.
And Liquid, they wanted a bounce-back game after that loss against CLG. Definitely stung, and they looked fantastic against Energy. Energy really struggled.